Welcome to episode number 52 of the Nintendo Jump Podcast. We are a weekly discussion podcast created for Nintendo gamers by Nintendo gamers. It is the week of June 17th. My name is Daryl, and today, as it has been for the last year, I am joined by Sergio. How are you, man?
Hey, Daryl. I'm doing quite well. It's been a great year. How are you, Daryl?
I am good. It's amazing. Yeah, I don't get this question very often, so I'm not particularly ready for it. But no, I'm good as well. I can't believe we are where we are. But also with us, of course, Kevin. Man, through the thick of it. How are you?
I'm doing pretty awesome. I am good to go. I'm in my seat. I got things 5 feet away from me that I want to have 5 feet away from me, and I'm just I'm good to go.
Good. I suppose that's preferable.
You know what? I got a question for you, Daryl. What are you drinking right now, or what is your go-to drink when you record the podcast with us? Like, what is your go-to?
Nothing but the top shelf, best in the business bottled water. Yep.
Oh.
Nestle Pure Life 48 pack for about $4. There you go. That's me.
Out to Nestle.
What about you, Sergio? What are you drinking today?
Yeah, no, that's what's
like
supposed
beer.
to be done for the for the best podcasting results. You need water, but I go with coffee.
Oh, coffee's good. For me, I love coffee with oat milk. That's like one of my favorite things since
I gotta try that
You
stuff.
got to. It has a subtle nutty flavor. A lot of the baristas around the area, well, at least in where I live, they like to use that a lot. Hopefully they do back home. They better. If they don't, I'm gonna tell them something. They better get their stuff together.
Shots fired. So we are recording live again in front of our Discord audience. Basically because this is a special episode for us. So we, for whatever reason, have recorded 52 episodes straight. As I said, we are a weekly podcast, so that means we are at the end of our first year. And honestly, having started it a year ago and actually doing some E3 reactions from last year to now, I didn't know where this was going to go. I didn't know how it was going to go. I just kind of knew that we wanted to do it, and here we are. So we wanted to share this with our community. I mean, you guys are awesome, and later in the show we will have some sort of question and answer, and we'll try to answer everything that actually gets put out there. But we just wanted to do this, and we just wanted to make it special. We just got out of E3, and we've got some other events planned for the near future. So a lot of fun, exciting stuff happening, and man, I can't wait. But I mean, specifically for this episode, Kevin, what are we talking about?
Man, thanks for that introduction. We are going to talk about our 1 year anniversary. As a podcast, recording together. We're going to talk about our favorite memories during the last year on the podcast, in the community, etc. How we got started, who we are in general, gaming moments we're looking forward to, such as pre-order lists, maybe some events that are coming up, etc. I have one that I can talk about in a little bit, but we will wait for that in a little bit. And upcoming stuff with NJP. Ooh, tournaments, best of episodes, etc., etc., etc. So
that's the Inside Baseball show notes, man. You're not supposed to read those.
Oh, no.
Right.
Well, it didn't say. Well, okay, yeah, it did. But yeah.
That's what the parentheses are for. Anyways, no. So, yeah, it has been a crazy year. So we're gonna actually kind of look back on it and see kind of why we started, how we started, and just some of our favorite moments that we've had. So I think I'm gonna start with Sergio. Actually, I mean. Yeah, what was it like starting? You were already kind of on an existing podcast, Haken, which is awesome, and then decided to kind of join us. What was that like? How'd that process go?
No, I mean, you're right. It definitely helped to have a chunk of experience already. And I guess, if anything, the biggest issue was, time management. Uh, just working 2 podcasts a week. At first, it was a little like, oh, okay, what's the best way to do this? But eventually, you just get into a rhythm, and they're both so different. One, Heiken, it's exclusively for Animal Crossing. And of course, NJP is all about Nintendo, everything about it, including Animal Crossing.
And Sony.
Yeah, that's a part of it. So yeah, just having two different perspectives on the whole thing, it's very cool. And yeah, I always say I love both of my babies.
Oh, thanks.
Oh,
Yeah.
the cheesiest thing I've heard today. Oh gosh.
Yeah, this goes back. I mean, so Sergio and Kevin and I all met in a different Discord for Switch and gaming and such, and we just kind of, the more we started talking, the more we kind of came to this conclusion. We kind of want to start something, do something, a YouTube channel, a podcast, whatever. And actually, we landed on a podcast with another group that we had a completely different idea. It was actually a short format game reviews type podcast. So, get in there, talk to about a game for 15 minutes, release the episode, call it a day. And for one reason or another, mostly being time and resources in playing all these games, that didn't actually pan out all that well. But now you will hear about the infamous archived Splatoon 2 review that Sergio and I did. It's not out there. It may never be out there. We'll see. Because if I remember right, this was like even before X Rank came out. So I mean, there's a lot of maybe we should just update that at this point. But anyways, so that turned into that didn't really go anywhere. We kind of let it sit for a little bit, and then realized, well, no, we actually do want to do something, especially with the E3 hype from that year. So if I remember right, just I think the three of us, for whatever reason, it was part of a larger group, but the three of us just kind of came together. I don't even remember who started that conversation, and just said, really, we should try this. We should give it a try. And honestly, that's how it started. We all got some. Well, I mean, Sergio, you already had your headset. I got my microphone. Kevin got his microphone. We just kind of started from there. And if you go back to our early episodes, our first 3 or 4, they're pretty rough audio wise.
Yes, especially for me.
We were honestly just figuring out what we were doing, but it's I like to think that we're a lot better off now. At least I hope we are. And that is pretty much the history. I mean, it's not all that huge, but it was big for me, because this is something I wanted to do for a very long time, just to kind of get. Well, one thing I've been a little skeptical about some other podcasts for is being a little negative or not really knowing the information or things like that. Now, I will get things wrong. People correct me all the time, forgive me. But I do like trying to get the information out there, try to spin it in a light that I honestly believe, which is mostly generally positive, and just kind of have fun with it. So, man, I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's man, it's crazy because it's like you two definitely recorded that Splatoon 2 episode, and then I heard it and I was like, yo, okay, I was definitely the last one to join and to see if I'd be interested in this endeavor. And yeah, it was one of the best decisions I've ever made, if not the best, and it's been pretty awesome. Just I think for me it was just like I was a little hesitant in terms of thinking about how much I'm going to share with everybody in terms of like my personal struggles with video gaming at times, or like things that happen with video games with me. But I think I just got around like, well, if it's going to help others relate, and if it's going to make a positive impact on other people, I think it's worth it. And I mean, and look how it turned out. So yeah, it's been crazy, because when I first started with you guys, I was definitely going through a transition part of my life. Moving from California to Oregon, and just gain a new life here, and then just being uncomfortable, and then at the same time recording the podcast week after week, and it's just been phenomenal. I think just being able to talk about video games week after week, and always keeping up with the news and playing video games and different topics. I still remember episode 10 where we went to this the psychology, the mental stress, the dedication, the hard work, the things that you can get out playing video games, the stereotypes that we always hear every single time someone wants to condescend or just demean us in a way that makes us uncomfortable. I think having this podcast with you guys has been just, like I said, therapy. Um, Now, in terms of negativity, there are times where, well, I mean, with Pokemon though, I remember when I went on a rant. Gosh, it was crazy. I think
it's okay if it's funny.
yeah, because I remember like that day I was like, "Yo, talking about Pokemon. Oh man, I have like a personal agenda."
I remember planning for that episode. You're like, "Oh yeah, I got some things to say," and I was like, "Oh no,
Yeah, and then I
that
just went on
can't be
this,
good."
yeah, I went on this rant. I didn't even know how offensive it's gonna be. Hopefully, it's not that offensive. I still think it might have been too much, but it's all good. I was just being very, very critical about uh, some sort of petting. But at the very end, I mean, I'm already invested in Pokemon again. Pokemon Shield to be exact, and yeah, it's just been wow. Like just thinking about all the things we talked about. I mean, what kind of episodes you guys really enjoy? I mean, there's definitely the gaming music episodes too. Like, what about you, Sergio? What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. My favorite episodes are like this one, the ones that are live, because we get to chat with everyone on Discord. And honestly, just the Discord itself, in all of the community aspects of this podcast, it's probably my favorite thing of the whole thing. Going back to what we were discussing when we first kind of were planning things out, and we were part of like a bigger group before we kind of went into the more established NJP that we have now. I
Right.
remember for sure. I kind of said no at first. I wanted to work more on the website side of things,
Yeah.
back when that was a thing, because I wanted to, keep doing Heiken as my only podcast. And then, honestly, I don't even remember like why I changed my mind or what happened, but I am so glad that it did. So,
Right.
yes, I'm super glad to be a part of this. And like I said, the community. And I think like the highlight for me of the whole year, it's just all the multiplayer that I've gotten to enjoy with everyone, like mostly on Discord, but just having so many people to play all sorts of games in Rocket League, it's just amazing.
All sorts of Rocket League.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
I'll say, we debated for a long time about the Discord thing. There was a reason we didn't start it with the show. We didn't want to for quite a while, and then finally we're just like, you know what, screw it, let's try it. And man, I'm happy we did. That's honestly, I count this community and what we actually have here as one of the biggest accomplishments I have. Period.
For sure.
And
Yeah.
I mean, that's not on me. That's not me saying I brought you all here. I didn't. It's just for whatever reason, this community is the most supportive, playful, competitive,
Right.
deep community I think I've ever been a part of, and it's been really cool to see. So yeah, we've got some really cool things planned. I'll get into that in a little bit for the community. But yeah, that's been awesome to kind of watch develop.
Yeah, for sure. And I just want to touch upon one other thing too. You guys talked about how we met through another Discord server. I mean, if it weren't for that, like I don't even know where we would be. So definitely really thankful for meeting there and just meeting all of y'all because it's all because of you, all guys. I mean, guys and girls, and just being so supportive of us. And yeah, like what Daryl said, I mean, the Discord thing was definitely a coin flip in the air, and and it worked out though. I mean, like, oh goodness, like we have very engaging members of the community, sharing their own opinions about not just video games but other things in life too, and it's yeah, man. e- Every time I get notifications about what's been going on in our community, it always gives me this state of felicity that I really appreciate. So I think it's great, and man, like
Yeah.
it's been a year. I can't believe it.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, that the people make it, not to get too specific, if just for the sake of privacy, but we've been there for so many moments. Like we recently had a big accomplishment by Swaddle. We have been
Oh
hearing
yeah.
Yeah.
about Shy Guys, parenting skills, we could say.
Yeah, yeah.
Just things like that, and they happen every day, and they happen by everyone that is part of our Discord in all of our communities. And just those little things, the daily life and the daily things we go through, just being able to share it with everyone and to just chat and talk about anything, that's really a great part of all this.
Yeah, so I think let's actually kind of talk a little bit. So specifically, uh, Kevin, you can start this one. What are some of your favorite moments that we've had, and don't list all the moments. Just so for the past, and this could be shows, this could be specific things we've done in the Discord or whatever. What are some of the best parts?
I think the one thing I really enjoyed is the episodes that maybe not focus too much on the video games itself, but rather about them and just how it applies to life. So episode 10 with as I mentioned, when we did extensive research on the mental stress, the emotional uh, aspects of playing video games and all that,
Yeah,
and just
and like the physical, mental benefits and all sorts of
exact
things. This was
right.
a huge research project actually for all three of us. It was
Yeah.
to this day, I still think that might be the best thing we ever did.
Yeah, it was huge.
Only
And
40 episodes ago.
well, it's cool because then like we took our time to research and just came up with that, and then I think one of my favorite episodes is definitely the one where I had my struggles through well, not just me, but all of us talked about our gaming slumps. And personally for me, y'all know, like I went through this questioning of my commitment to video games, whether I want to or not, and very personal thing. But Daryl, you suggested that we should talk about it, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And that was a great episode too. Yeah, just being able to, I mean, because when it comes to living your life in a different environment, we have different priorities. Gaming could take a back seat, but then I thought about it, and then was able to just get out of the hole and pre-order Final Fantasy X HD remaster and get back.
Oh, nice.
So that was one of my favorite moments. But I think um, my favorite, like, just burst out laughter was that golf joke. I did not expect that because I was just like, you know. When I was talking about, like, oh yeah, you can play Golf Story, if
Say it
you
with me. Have you heard of Golf Friend?
no.
No.
Yeah, so basically what happened was, for those who may not have heard of the episode, we were talking about video games that we can recommend to new Switch owners. And I mentioned Golf Story because it's a really awesome indie game that, it's about golf, but has really funny dialogue and stuff. And it's nice for people maybe who haven't played golf or know of it. And when I said that, I was like, uh-oh, what am I doing?
Yeah, you really
So,
teed it up for me there.
yeah. Oh.
So sorry.
There we go.
I think
Um,
probably one of my favorite episodes was actually episode number 3, which is when we actually started talking about our gaming memories. That's when we got a little bit in depth about, some of the personal stuff that kind of led us and kept us in gaming. Also really liked the Star Fox episode.
mhm.
Like,
Yes.
thinking back to that one, that was maybe one of my favorite episodes. And of course the music episodes are always great.
Right.
But I think some of the moments that I've had doing this show, specifically, I mean, I got to play through Octopath as part of this show. That was a fantastic time, and my wife is actually playing it now for the first time, and I'm so jealous.
Nice.
I'm kind of watching her going, oh man, I remember this. But yeah, that was a great moment. Going through the overall release insanity of Super Smash Brothers. And that we're still kind of in that with the DLC. That's been a lot of fun for me. And then finally, the when we actually chose our game of the year for 2018, and I gave it to Celeste, and I said finally what I really wanted to say about Celeste. Might be my favorite thing that I've said on the show, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure, and well deserved. I still haven't played it. One day I hope to. But like I always say, everyone that has played that game loves it, and there's got to be a good reason for that. It's just a great game.
We're all crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I I still have to finish it too. I went through quite a bit with the game, and just I even have the soundtrack 'cause I got the collector's edition with the art, the pop-up art book and stuff, which is still pretty amazing. I actually have it not 5 feet away, but 1 foot away from me, and it's just right here, stacked up with like my other uh, special deluxe editions. But anyway, yeah, and
That
I
was
have
for Octopath.
yeah, for Octopath. Yeah, I had the special
Yeah,
edition.
say if you have an art book for Celeste, I am so jealous.
Oh, I wish I did. I mean, that'd be great.
That art book
But
for Octopath is awesome, though. It's like a pop-up book. It's
it
awesome.
is really nice. And you know what? It was really interesting because when I saw the preview of it online, I just thought that was only for one, for one character. I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess whatever. But then I realized that, oh, it's actually for all 8 characters. I'm like, wow, okay, well, this actually might be worth it. So, yeah, man, and I have the soundtrack, which I still have in my car, which I would love. I just like to listen to it every now and then, especially Battle Theme 3. I'm not gonna hum it here, but it is very good, or not yet. But yeah, and man, just Celeste, what a great game! Oh my gosh, I still have to finish the B sides though. I did finish the going up the mountain, but gotta finish that. But so many games to finish.
Yeah, I think the main story of Celeste is like an essential play. I think everybody needs to play that game. I try to pawn that off on everybody because I think it's an actual meaningful, impactful game. And whether you get into the harder levels, that's up to you. If you like that, that's great. I loved it. But even if not, like getting through that challenge is awesome, and I definitely recommend it. So Sergio, did we get to you? Did you have some favorite moments over the last year?
There's been so many. Honestly, some of the highlights are reveals for games that are still on their way. I'm really looking forward to both Pokemon and Animal Crossing, of course.
Right.
So it's kind of weird, that some of my favorite moments are moments that haven't happened just yet. But, those are the things I like. Now, one of the things though that really stood out to me as far as this year in our podcast, in a way, in a smaller way, the fact that we haven't missed a single week. There were times when we were planning a couple of things or around holidays, and we said, oh, we might not make it this week, but we always pull through. There's always been a weekly episode. I think there's only been one episode where it was only you and me, Daryl, and a couple of, I think we had like 3 guests so far. But yeah, every time, every week, and even more surprising, it's the fact that we haven't missed a recording. We haven't really had like a major
Oh God, don't say it. Don't
audio
say
Wait,
it.
issue.
wait. Well, hold on.
You're not supposed
I
to
mean,
call that out.
You know what?
You
It's
guys are
jinxed. Well,
recording, right?
to be fair, there were, I believe, a few times where, unfortunately, I could not make the podcast recording due to schedule conflicts, but we
Right.
had some awesome guests that filled in for me.
Yeah, so shouting out to our guests. I mean, we had Llama, Monty, we had
Yes.
N64 Josh, we had Shy Guy, and recently we had Peachy. I mean, so pretty killer run of guest hosts actually, and I kind of plan to kind of continue that. So if you are interested in jumping on a future episode, just hit me up. I think we should probably keep doing that.
Yeah, actually,
Hell
that's one
yeah.
of the things that I'm looking forward to next year. Just having more collaborations between other podcasts, like even like sharing hosts, or just having more guests, more tournaments that involve other communities. That was pretty awesome. But yeah, just going back, yeah, I don't want to jinx us about audio issues,
I'm
but
knocking on wood pretty hard.
Oh,
over
man.
here.
but
Doing
there
it
was
right
actually
now.
one time, if you guys remember, when we did the Donut County review, something happened with my audio, and it looked like it was cutting off throughout the whole thing, but luckily it was only for about the first 20 minutes or so. So Kevin and I actually re-recorded that part afterward, and we were able to save the episode. So hey, nothing happened.
Yeah, and I'm so glad we did because I honestly wanted to re-record that because I felt like I didn't. I felt like I didn't do a good job the first time. Honestly, it was actually a pretty bleep job on my end, and I wanted to just redo it, and coincidentally, the audio issue he had, and it's like, all right, let's re-record it, and it turned out pretty well. So, man, Donut County.
And then we had a bunch of contests, tournaments, that kind of thing. Probably my favorite one of those, honestly, was the NES one. When we actually did the NES Online tournament, and every round was a different game. I loved that. I loved setting that up, making these stupid rule sets for every game. That was so much fun, and it actually is kind of getting into something I want to do later on, but I'm not going to spoil that yet.
There is one thing that is upcoming. PAX West. I am going. I'm representing NJP for us, and
Nice.
I will go on Sunday. So if you are in Seattle on the 1st of September, please come find me. And we'll have a ball. So playing some games and stuff. I mean, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm just gonna go for one day, not all four, because it's too much. I thought about it for a bit, but nah, just one day is good for me. One day Sunday, PAX
Nice.
West.
Nice.
So I mean that kind of that kind of jumps into a topic we have later on.
Oh, oops.
No, it's actually okay. So I guess going forward. So over the next, let's say we do this another year, which I certainly hope we are. What moments are you looking forward to in the next year? I mean, so Kevin, I know you've got a ton of pre-ordered games.
Oh man,
I have a list of my own too. So what do you have pre-ordered currently?
Okay, so I have Super Mario Maker 2. I have Fire Emblem Three Houses. I have Pokemon Shield. I have Animal Crossing. And
Yes.
yeah. And you know what? It was going to be Final Fantasy VII Remake, but because of the whole thing about the whole, episodic thingamabobbers, and I don't know how long the game's going to be, because, as you know, Midgar is from Final Fantasy VII is 5 to 10% of the whole game. I don't know how they're gonna do it, so I'm a little hesitant to pre-order Final Fantasy VII Remake. And oh yes, I've made a public promise to pre-order Luigi's Mansion 3, so I will get that.
Yep.
So
Nice.
So my list is actually kind of similar to yours.
Nice.
I've got Mario Maker coming out in a week. Oh my goodness. And then after that, I've got Fire Emblem Three Houses. I have Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which I'm very, very excited for. And then eventually Luigi's Mansion, whenever I can pre-order it. And then currently Zelda Link's Awakening. I don't currently have Pokemon pre-ordered. I will. And there's a bunch of other games that I'm probably going to get on as well. But that's what I got so far. Sergio, what are you looking forward to?
Nice. Yeah, very
Nice.
similar. So I have Mario Maker 2 preloaded. I am really looking forward to Fire Emblem Three Houses. Like I said, it's kind of like out of nowhere for me, but man, I think that's just going to make it even better. So I also have Link's Awakening. I have pre-ordered AI, the Somnum Files, I believe it's called. It's by
Ooh.
the developer or by the main director of the 999 series.
Nice.
There we
So
go.
yeah, that should be pretty cool. And I'm gonna pre-order Luigi's Mansion when it has a date. I already have pre-ordered both Pokemon games and Animal Crossing
Ooh.
and Final Fantasy VII Remaster. Yes. And Kevin, you're gonna get it. Come on.
Wait, you pre-ordered it?
Yes.
Oh my god, man! What am I doing with my life?
You
man?
will too.
I will. If I'm going to pre-order that game, it will be before my GCU Best Buy thingamabobber is.
Sergio is a bigger Final Fantasy fan than
no,
Kevin.
Oh,
no.
confirmed.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, that is.
So
Man,
so far,
we're-
Kevin is the third biggest Final Fantasy fan on this podcast.
Oh
so
my gosh,
there you
I
go.
got reasons. I got legitimate reasons, but okay. You know what, man? Okay, we'll get back to that, but.
Yeah, so let's talk about Fire Emblem a little bit, because we rushed it like crazy through the E3 episode, but I'm actually super excited about what we're gonna do with that. You guys still in on this?
Oh yeah.
All right.
234%. Absolutely. I don't know why I said 234.
No, I need
but-
at least 235%, man.
Okay, 235. I've been such a slacker for this, but there will be an Excel spreadsheet of those who want to be.
You got
part
about
of
a
the
month.
pack.
It's okay. It's okay.
About a month, yeah. So for those who haven't heard from from a while back, I said, hey, we're gonna have an Excel spreadsheet for those who want to make the pact to go through the game with permadeath.
Classic mode, normal difficulty, no resets, no rewinds. If a
No
character
rewinds.
dies, they die. And
That's right.
to make it all that better, it's likely a character that you taught in this school ahead of this war. So it's going to be very painful, and I'm second guessing that a little bit, but I'm in. I'm doing it. So
We're doing it. This is how we have to play a Fire Emblem game. We cannot be perfectionists, because if we were to be that, we will never finish the game. I know I would.
And the only reason we're doing it, like, I am convinced, and the previous Fire Emblem games tend to just kind of throw you units at the end of the game. So by the end, your army has like 50 guys in it that you can only pick 12 or so to go into any given battle. So it's like they keep throwing these people at you, and the only reason I can think that they do that is because they expect certain characters to be dying off as you go, and they don't expect us to be crazy people restarting every time something like that happens.
Right.
Right.
So, yeah, we're gonna break it. We're gonna do
We
it.
are. It's gonna
so
happen.
we are going to be keeping track. If you guys want to join us on that, please do get in our Discord or send us a tweet or something, and we will be talking about it as we go. We'll be tracking. It's especially cool because we have the different houses that people can pick, so people can have different units and people on their in their game actually that we could potentially be fighting over. So we're gonna be keeping track of per chapter in the game who loses who, what they felt about it. We're gonna be talking about it. You know, we may do some voice segments about, you know, I lost Cecilia today and I cried. You know, like
No, there
you
we go.
never know.
Yeah, that's
So, yeah.
the emotional investment that we will have in this game is gonna be next level. Like, I'm so excited for that. So,
Yeah, I think it's gonna take me forever to beat the game. I'm probably gonna plan every move like half an hour before I do it. But for sure, I'm totally in.
yeah. Oh my goodness. So Rebecca just mentioned hopefully no Haley characters. I hope not, because if there is, I will go off for 50 minutes straight. And it's
there will absolutely be one. This is a Fire Emblem game. There are some. Oh yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, if there is one, I'll let that person go whatever they want to do. I'm just
But
kidding. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to.
In fairness, it is a Fire Emblem game, so the worst they can do is be a jerk to you for 3 conversations before they marry you. So that's it. That's all you have to worry about.
Just like in real life. No, but I mean, okay. But if there's a Leah character, that'd be awesome. I would love that.
No, so far I actually really like the characters, so I'm looking forward to this in kind of a oh god, what have we done type way. But yeah, that's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to playing Mario Maker with people. I keep mentioning that, but I think that that's going to be absolutely huge. In terms of, so I will say this right now. If you get on Discord and you shoot me, hey, try out this level I just made, I will try my darndest to beat that level. I really will. I'm not the best Mario player in the world, so I'm not committing to beating it, to be fair. But I'll do everything I can to play it, give comments, try to beat it, and we'll go from there. And I'm kind of expecting the same thing. So I love the level design aspect of it. So I'm going to be making some levels too to share. And I want to. A lot of us are getting it, and a lot of us are going to be playing it pretty actively, and we're excited about it. So I really want to kind of encourage everyone to just share levels. There's going to be a special channel just for that. Share levels, play each other's, give comments. Let's all get better as level designers together and enjoy the game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, just, man, it was like this journey to be convinced to get this game, and I'm ready to go. I mean, it's just gonna be fun. I definitely will create some levels too, and I would love to play all y'all's levels as well. So as like Daryl, I am not that good of a Mario player or Mario platformer player, but I'm up for a challenge. So yes.
Oh, yeah, I nominated myself as the worst.
Oh, it's a contest here. Oh man.
But I mean, I am also really looking forward to that game. But I think the one that probably I don't want to say it's gonna end up being like the best. It might be the most surprising and the most fun multiplayer. I think a lot of people don't expect it. Luigi's Mansion 3. I
Oh,
think we're gonna have a
sure.
lot
Yeah,
of fun with that one.
hell yeah.
So I was blown away by what they showed in the treehouse. If it runs decently, like I don't need it to be the best thing in the world. If it
Yeah.
runs okay, I'm gonna be thrilled with that game. Uh,
Nice.
because I mean they promised 8-player online co-op or with some slight challenge elements and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, between that and Marvel and Crystal Chronicles, the co-op online gameplay thing is going to
Oh
be
yeah.
fantastic this year. I'm looking forward to all
Mm.
3 of those a lot. So, man, I can't wait.
Awesome. I mean, it's oh goodness, like I just want to hear the release date. Just please, Nintendo, let us know. I mean, good things come to those who
You
wait,
know
but
it's coming
sometimes,
out like October 23rd or something. You know it is.
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah.
if it does happen on October 23rd, man, that'd be awesome. You're calling it right now, October 23rd.
Well, I don't know. I don't even know what day of the week that is, but whatever the Friday is closest to
Yeah,
that, it's that one.
there we go. And yeah, and it would be my first Luigi Mansion game, so I'm excited.
Nice. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, real quick, and so something we've kind of touched on, we haven't really touched on. Uh, we kind of jumped. Lots of kindas here. We just kind of jumped into talking and talking about video games and some of our memories and things like that. But real quick, is there anything about you guys that you want to tell people, like who are you, who what do you do, like what's your life like? We don't have to get too crazy into it, but yeah, something that maybe not everybody knows.
Yeah, sure. Actually, let's have Serge start.
Oh
this
yeah.
this is
Yeah.
also a good time for questions from our audience. If you guys want to know something, just ask. I will try my best to answer them.
No, well, I I I don't have a lot going on.
I didn't mean
I'm
to call you out and start. Sorry.
no, no. I mean, it's fine. I mean, that's the way I am. I'm pretty low key. I always say, I'm boring like to most people, but I have a lot of fun my own way with the things that I like. Like I love life. Every day, it's just a different series of events to love and to remember with fondness. Every day is an adventure in a way. So yeah, I just do the things I like, and I share them with the people I cherish, and that's about it. I don't do much, but I do my best to affect people positively, and that that's really what keeps me going.
That's awesome.
I love that. Mm.
Yeah, so I am actually pretty quiet in normal life. I don't I talk a lot at work, and I kind of come home and I'm a little quiet, and that's just kind of where I am. So to answer a couple questions that are in the Discord right now, and I'll let you guys do this in a second too. Uh, what child are you? Only child, young, middle, oldest? I am the youngest of 2. I have an older sister who is 4 years older than I am. Uh, can you tell us your usernames and why you chose them? Yes, I am Decoy DW, so my initials are DW.
Oh no.
What do you know? Uh,
Wait, oh no.
uh, Decoy came from, actually, if you go all the way back, it came from, get this, the Pinky and the Brain Christmas special, where
No way.
Pinky and the Brain are running away from Santa's elves who are chasing them for various reasons, and Pinky yells, "Look, a decoy!" And that became an email address for me. It became a call sign for me for a very long time, and the reason it did become my eventual gamer tag. Now this replaced Finrer, so I used to be
Hmm.
Finrer7 of all things. But the reason it did become my gamer tag is that is actually how I play games. Like I kind of am a decoy. Like play with me in Splatoon. I'm the guy who's up front, jumping around, trying to get in the other person's way to try to advance, so my team can advance the objective. That kind of thing. So, yeah, that's me.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, let's see. So I'm the only child, and my username Wave to High. It's pretty much the way I live my life. Just when you when you want to say hi to somebody, when you want to acknowledge their presence, usually with the wave, you wave your hand to say hi. I mean, I think that's a very universal thing. Wave to hi, and two is my favorite number. Two represents a lot of
Oh,
things like second chances, second wind. Just number two. I That was actually when I first played at the Y or YMCA for basketball. I believe it was fourth or fifth grade, or somewhere after fourth or fifth grade. One of those. The number that I was given was number two, and as a team, I was a bench player. But then we won the championship that summer, and I was like, man, like that's my number, no doubt. I
Nice.
mean, and so
nice.
yeah. But to get into username, it's more than just saying hi to somebody. It's there's a form of acknowledgement. There's a form of acceptance, and I think you know, and that plays a huge role in how we have this community. With you guys and um, just feeling accepted, just feeling like you belong. And I think that's something that I've struggled with my entire life, for the longest time. And uh, I think when I thought about the username, like, man, this is perfect. This is who I am. I love. I wear my heart on my sleeve at times. I'm usually very energetic, but on the outside, but on the inside, I'm a very private person. Just I love to spend time on my own. I have a tight knit group of friends back home, and obviously you two are have been phenomenal for me and with me. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot I can go into with the username, but that's something that I'll have for the rest of my life. So I don't think I'll ever replace it.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So Dragon asks, have you always worn your love for Nintendo on your sleeve? Yes. I mean, just straight up, I mean, unabashedly, I am the Nintendo fanboy of this podcast. Like, to
Yeah.
the point of I had a PlayStation 1. My dad mostly had it, but that was pretty much it for non-Nintendo consoles at all. And I had pretty much every Nintendo console. At times that wasn't exactly the proudest moments of my life. I have joked in the past about going into GameStop and being like, "Hey man, you got that Wii U game?" Like now it's kind of nice to see that swing back. So I'm in the majority now, and that's great. But it's yeah, I've always been that. I think most people know this at this point. I was a tournament Smash player for a very long time. Started out in Smash 64, moved to Melee where I got most of as far as I got in the community. Then transferred to Brawl. Then later on Smash 4. I did a little bit of Project M and so on. So yeah, I've always been there. I've always kind of worn it on my sleeve personally.
Nice.
It's really I feel proud that you have that pedigree, that background of being like a tournament level Smash player. I think it's awesome. Like, whenever people ask about the podcast and like what kind of people that I do the podcast with, I always mention you two, and especially you, Daryl, with your pedigree of being a professional like Smash player. Like I think that's always that's amazing. And then with Sergio too, like you are like the number one like headphones audiophile I've known in my life.
That is
like,
true.
it is very
I wanted some new
impressive.
headphones and I went to Surge. It
I mean,
was the first
Sergio,
person I asked.
Sergio, you're like the go-to guy, and I just admire the fact that you were such a huge Animal Crossing fan. I remember when I first met you, man, you had that book. I was like, wow. I mean, if this isn't number one fan, I don't know who is. Like, this is amazing. So it's like, oh my God. I still remember what it looked like, the pictures, and just like, you're just like, it's like an encyclopedia of like your personal Animal Crossing history. And I'm like, man, this is like 10 times next level, maybe 100 times next level. I think it was crazy.
So the one thing I've learned about Sergio in particular, you are freaking dedicated, man. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
when you get on something, you get on something. Like whether that's Rocket League or whether that's Animal Crossing or one of many other things. Man, when you commit to something, you really do.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, 3 o'clock in the morning, Rocket League. You're waking up for that. 4 o'clock. I mean, damn, it's pretty good.
Whether that's Pikachu or rollers in Splatoon, man.
Yeah.
that's, this is Sergio.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm also been mostly like a big Nintendo fan, and I eventually did get, I think my first non-Nintendo system was the PlayStation 1. I really wanted to play the Final Fantasy games. I actually played 8 before 7, and that's why it's so hard for me to choose like which one of those is better. They're both really really good, and yeah, but I've always been the preferably Nintendo, like big time for sure. And going back to a couple of the previous questions, I am um, the older sibling. I have a younger sister by 2 years, and for my username, so the Sergio part is yes my first name. The 64 is my year of birth. No, no,
Whoa.
no. It's from the
Aw.
Nintendo 64,
Oh, dang. I was gonna say. I was like, whoa.
and
The more
of
you know.
course the worst part of life, it's the ALB in the middle there, and I hate my middle name. It's Alberto, and it's the most generic name that I wish I could erase it.
So let me ask you a question. You live in the internet age and you set your own Discord name, so literally you could erase that. Like that could be
Yeah.
gone tomorrow if you wanted it to. Why
Right.
why is it there?
So it actually first started with my first email address, and I've used it as my username everywhere. And just I feel like if I take it out, it's like it's not me anymore, even though I would be happy about it. It's hard. It's like a curse and a blessing.
Again, dedicated. There you go.
There we go. Man, that's awesome. Oh, my first non-Nintendo console. Uh-oh. Uh, Sega Genesis. That's my first non-Nintendo console, and I had the Super Nintendo at the same time. So, in the '90s, if people knew I had both, man, I'd be. I don't know, but I like them both. I mean, you gotta love Sonic. I mean, Sonic is awesome. There were some other games too that I got with the Sega Genesis, but then later on, I got the PS1, and that just opened my eyes to like, my first Final Fantasy I've ever played, Final Fantasy VIII, which I mentioned is the most important Final Fantasy I've ever played ever. Um, and I remember playing Crash 3, Spyro, 1, 2, 3, and then Crash Team Racing, which is one of my favorite racing games. There's Mario Kart, but Crash Team Racing gets some love too. And yeah, just I had my Nintendo days with the N64, the GameCube, and obviously the Game Boys and the DSs, and then at some point I just became more of a Sony player. PS3, PS4, PS3 especially because at the time with my college housemates they had Xbox 360s, but then they all like red ringed, so they switched to PS3, and then I got PS3, and it was just it is. I would have to say the PS3 was a very important console in my life as a gamer because I spent countless hours with my housemates back then playing FIFA, NBA 2K, and our favorite Call of Duty. Oh yeah, bring them,
Oh,
man. I mean, countless hours just trying to get good. From my abysmal zero point 0.3 KDR to like 0.97 within like 6 months. I mean, and I'm not afraid to say that. Like that actually happened, and because of that, I got much better at Call of Duty. I felt more comfortable. I felt like, man, I can just turn the switch on, not throw my controller as much, even though I did before. Don't do that, kids or adults. Like, don't do that because it's really bad.
hey Kevin, I'm curious. Did you ever get or play like a PSP or a PS Vita?
I did. I did.
Oh,
I played Virtua Tennis, which is one of my favorite um, tennis series of all time. I have to say it was. I love playing 1, 2, and 3. Well, not on the Vitas per se, but or excuse me, the PSP. But then I played that quite a bit. But yeah, I had the PSP for a little bit. But then I just got bored of it for a while, and then I just sold it back. But yeah, so man, just and I was engulfed into Sony like games and stuff, and I mean, Final Fantasy 13 and there's 15 and this 4 thing, and then the Switch came. Like, oh shoot, I got against the Switch. But but before they announced the Switch, I think in October 2016, we already talked about it. I had a 2DS, and I played the crap out of Fire Emblem, Conquest. I mean, there were some stories
Oh.
about that. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you know, I think it was good to get back into the Nintendo side of things. I love the Switch. I love getting accessories for it, and just having it right here, like 5 feet away, or actually closer. Like it's just nice to be able to play on the go, and as I mentioned before, being able to play. Like there was times where after work I'd stop by a local coffee shop and I just play the Switch, and then people would randomly come up and say, "Hey, is that the Switch?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" Why did I say that? I was like, "Yeah, it's a Switch," and and then people just wanted to check it out, and I actually let some little kids play Mario Kart or whatever I was playing at the time, and it was just great, just a good conversation starter, and it's just good to de-stress at times with the Nintendo Switch. So yeah.
So a couple of the questions. What's your astrological sign? Capricorn. Yep.
Wait, me too.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, very good.
Sergio.
I think I'm Aries.
Nice.
Nice.
Then can you guys imagine carrying on life without gaming in it?
Right.
Yes. Actually, I can. It would not be. I choose this as my entertainment and my hobby. If at some point I had to drop that, I've done it before. I can do it now. I'm not addicted, I swear. No, yeah, I can imagine a life with it. Do I think my life is better with it? Yeah, I do. So there you go.
Yeah, it's possible. If I had to say that the biggest enjoyments of life, video games, music, and watching sports. If I had to drop one of them, it wouldn't be gaming. I would want to keep that first. But if I had to, yeah, because there's, the others two are really good, and there's so many other just little moments in life that are good. But gaming is the biggest one for me for sure.
That's a tough one for me. Just piggybacking on what Sergio said, with if I had gaming, music, and sports, I would drop sports first, then gaming, and then music would be my number one. Straight up. So yeah, I could imagine my life without video gaming, but it would be ridiculously difficult. I mean, but yeah, but I mean that's just like extreme case. But yeah, I can
We'd have
definitely
to
see
do this
myself.
podcast on politics or something. That'd be gross.
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for us. That's good. No.
Oh no, I went there. So I think that is it for us. Real quick, I want to get into some stuff that we're actually looking forward to. Not necessarily games that are coming out, but some events that we're actually looking forward to in our actual community. So first off, Sergio, you want to tell us some of the stuff you've been working on?
Yeah, and it's actually, well, I guess this is a good time because this is a new segment. We discussed it a little bit. It might catch Kevin and Daryl a bit off guard, but because I even myself forgot about it from a couple of weeks ago. But
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
it begins today. So we wanted to spark a little more conversation on our Discord about a specific topic. So every week we're gonna be asking a question for our listeners to answer on Discord, and then we
Woo!
can go from there and engage in more conversation. So it's gonna be more like open answer questions, like just basic answers about anything. It doesn't have to be about video games, but I had a question that sort of came to me like in a vision type of thing, or not really, but let's pretend that.
Ooh. Sergio.
So,
Ooh.
so this is a weird question, but they're probably not gonna be like this in the future. So, you guys know Ike, the character from Super Smash Brothers. I think he's had a few cameos in like a couple of Fire Emblem games as well.
I hear he fights for his friends.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's a good
So,
cause.
Ike, what should be his last name? What last name would you give to Ike?
Oh.
My personal vote goes to Aramba. Ike Aramba.
Wow. You know what? I would just say Ike Bachata, because bachata is one of the best things in life for me, and I think
I
Ike Bachata.
I can't believe you just made that joke.
Uh,
Oh,
So I think think Dragon actually used his actual name. Grail is his father, I think, if I remember right.
Oh.
Llama saying Ike Tomodachi, which I kind of love. I don't know why. Yeah, so if they followed like the Norse naming rules, I think he would be Ike Grailson. I think that would be it. But who knows what they actually do in Fire Emblem? I don't know.
So yeah, for sure, we're gonna be asking questions every week, and they should be better than this one. So look forward to that. We can discuss them in the episode talkback channel on our Discord.
And we'll
Sweet.
probably bring them up in episodes because it's fun. So, you want to? So, do you want to tell what else you're doing, or you want to leave that as a surprise?
Ooh.
Oh, I see. No, this is as the audio editor of the podcast. While doing the editing, I have been extracting the best moments or the best jokes,
Yes.
botched intros, outtakes, just the whole enchilada for the best moments of NJP. And we have a whopping 3-hour podcast coming to you guys. It's going to be an extra podcast. Yeah, it's going to be 3 hours. We
Yes.
were thinking of just breaking it up, but no, we're going to keep it as one 3-hour extravaganza. And there is a little bit of a cut that we had to do. I did have to cut some sections, and including every single musical piece that 90% of Kevin has sung to us. And I think the other 10% was Daryl and I. That is cut, but we're going to have that separately as well. So you're going to get everything.
Man. I don't even remember all the things I hummed or whatever. Man, that is and there'll be some outtakes.
Yeah, so Kevin and I have both been able to listen to the first part of it. We listened to about an hour and a half of it, and I gotta say, despite being kind of the the butt of some of the jokes, and I get it, I think it may be the strongest selling point our show has ever had. So I'm really looking forward to this final cut. When are we gonna see it or hear it? I guess.
It's going to be this week for sure. So within the
wow.
week, just very shortly after you get this anniversary episode, yeah, we're going to have everything good to go.
Shadow drop.
Oh, you know what, man? There were definitely a few moments where I was like, man, this had to, I regret doing that or saying it.
I regret
oh, man.
everything.
Oh, man.
I regret all of it. Everything. No. Honestly,
no.
that was kind of a nostalgic thing. I really enjoyed listening to it for
Yeah.
whatever reason. So yeah, it's awesome, and I'm looking forward to that coming out about this week, and it'll be released on our normal channel, so you'll get it the same way you get this podcast. It'll be a bonus episode, so it's not a numbered episode. We're not being lazy or anything. So it's just extra. You'll see it. Some shows might release this as like a Patreon thing. We're not. It's yours. Take it.
Exactly. Yep.
So that is very exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm gonna jump to mine. So you guys know I love planning tournaments, and you guys know I love trying to come up with fun ways to encourage people to play games that they might otherwise not want to play or might otherwise not try to play. I just mentioned the NES tournament was probably my favorite one that I've ever done. So in that vein, we've had this idea, and we're kind of drafting it now, and we're rolling out a brand new competition of sorts at some point in the next few weeks. Probably it's coming, quote unquote, soon, and that's all I'll commit to at this point, because we're working on some tools to make it easy. But here's the pitch. What if you could play a tournament where you could play any mode of any game against somebody else as part of this tournament, that I didn't have to set up the game? All of the participants in the Discord would be able to basically call for a duel with any other player in the Discord, and if they accept it, then you play that, and the winner gets some points, and then you track the points over the course of a season, and then we have leaderboards, we have winners, we have champions for seasons, we reset it, we do it again. We can do single game tournaments as part of this, but we could also just leave it up to you guys to actually duel each other.
Oh, man, got that Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay.
So coming soon, brand new idea, something I've never actually seen done before.
No, right.
Is gamer duels. We are bringing gamer duels for the first time, and I want to really quickly shout out to my good friend Phil and Court Meow, who are really hooking us up with some tools that are going to make this extremely easy to do. So the one thing I will say is when you are making challenges to other people, I would very much recommend you make interesting challenges. You do not have to say Smash 4 stock, Fox only, Final Destination, although you can if you want. You can also say, I want to play one-on-one versus you in Rocket League with infinite boost, but we have to be on the top of our car, so upside down the entire match.
Wow,
You can
that
say,
is
I want
really
to
hard.
race you in Mario Kart, but you have to drive backwards the entire time. You can get a couple buddies and play 3-on-3 in a Splatoon match if you want. Or you can do, I challenge you to beat my Mario Maker level in this amount of time, or
Yo,
anything.
that'd be good.
You can challenge people to Dr. Mario, or Ice Hockey NES, or Fortnite duos who can place higher. Anything. So this is what we're doing, and it's coming very soon. I'm extremely excited about it, so please look forward to some more information on it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be participating in that, making some of the wackiest challenges I can think of. So yeah, please come on, join our Discord. It's going to be exclusive to our Discord because it's the only way we can really control it. But I've seen some of the tools that Phil and Court Meow are working on, and it's amazing what they're doing. So it's really, really cool. Look for it soon.
Good stuff. Dang, that I've never heard this kind of term before until I heard about this, man. This is like, it's pretty creative for sure. Oh man.
Yeah. So as a as somebody who likes being somewhat competitive in like every game, this kind of thing is something I wish had already existed. So we just started talking about, well, could we do this? How could we do it? What would we do? And there will be some kinks to work out, but we're gonna try it and we're gonna see how it works. Get people's feedback on it, make some adjustments to it, keep going. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And there's going to be some prizes involved. I'm not at all ready to announce those yet, but there will be prizes and we'll have a lot of fun. So definitely please look forward to that.
And just to add on to the whole spiel, I do want to announce something on our end. Now, as you all know, like, we're a very creative group, and we want to make with the post credits and stuff, like, it's usually just humming or whatever, or just saying, well, not whatever, but it's just, we say goodbye and all that, and we have, the humming or something wacky or fun. But, Daryl and I, we thought about it, and, we want to record just these covers of game songs to serve as ending themes, with me on the piano and Daryl with the bass, right?
Yeah,
Bass
I
guitar.
mean, for those who don't know, I mean, Kevin and I kind of co-wrote the theme song, and I ended up recording it here. So we both have the ability to record stuff. I'm planning we can do some stuff together. We can do some stuff separate. But planning on actually recording some actual end themes that may or may not go with the episodes that we are talking about. So
Yeah, and like it's gonna be awesome because it's nice because just given our musical abilities and just be able to just churn out something for you guys and for everyone listening to us all over the world. Who knows? Like, this could turn into like an album. I mean, we're very excited to just be able to get more creative with our post credits, or just be able to play more music, and it's a win-win. Win for us. For us to exercise our just our music, and for you guys to listen. So we're really excited to get that initiative started. But yeah, quite a bit. I mean, man, it's amazing.
yeah, so and those will probably find their way onto I don't know, YouTube or something outside of the podcast. So if anybody likes them, I imagine they'll probably be fairly rough. It's gonna be some of the first time we're doing it, but as with all things, the only way to get better is to start it. So we're gonna try and see how it goes.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. You know what? I have to say something now. Like, the last episode, I really wanted to. I thought about just doing a little bit on the piano, but I didn't do it. But with the second year coming, we're gonna do that.
yeah, I think that's it for what is coming up. But as you might hear, you hear us start getting really into talking about. We got some really exciting stuff coming. Just as a way to let's separate our second year. Let's do some more fun stuff. Try to grow a little bit and keep going on kind of the path we're going. Um, just as kind of a final closing word, this has been kind of a sappy episode for me because I can't believe that we've got a year. I can't believe that we're getting, a couple hundred people every episode, and we have over 12,000 listens at this point, and 100 people in our Discord, and 100 followers on Twitter, and so on and so forth. For most people, those numbers might be a little low, but for me, it's just awesome to know that we've been able to do this, and we've been able to connect with a lot of our friends online in doing this, and I've had a lot of fun with it. So thanks to all of you, thanks to you too, Kevin and Serge. I've had a ball. So let's keep doing it.
Yeah, honestly, it's just been one of the greatest things in my life, being able to do this with you too. Thank you so much. And thank you to you all for listening, and for everybody out there listening to us from all over the world. Like, I could not imagine getting fan mail from like Finland or Hungary or just like different countries, and just looking at the stats of our listeners. Like, it is amazing. Like, I'm just looking at right now the geographic locations of people listening to us. Like, we got the UK, we got Canada, Germany, Australia, just to name some. I mean, we got Barbados. Like, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Like that.
I said it before.
Like,
I'll say it again. I never imagined to get international. I didn't even, it didn't even cross my mind.
yeah, it's just amazing, and we're sitting at 12,823 total plays. That is unbelievable. I could not have imagined having that many plays for
a silly Nintendo podcast. So
yeah, it's just, man, like,
that is over 9,000. Yeah,
it is, yeah, and it's
coconut.
But I've never been more excited for this upcoming year, and hopefully this can last for a very long time. I mean, just the time, the effort, just spending time with all of y'all, and especially you two, Daryl and Sergio. I mean, man.
No, yeah, that's where it starts. Honestly, the first thing that comes to mind for me about NJP is a better and more, just a better friendship and more of a bonding experience with both you, Daryl, and you, Kevin. First of all, for sure, like, you guys are some of my best friends, and I've gotten to really be able to say that because of this podcast. And then, of course, that carries over also to the community and everyone that we get to talk to, everyone that we inspire, hopefully, with our podcast. And we hope that you guys get the most out of it. We definitely love doing it. And if this was our first year, and it was pretty awesome, I'm pretty certain that year two is only gonna get better for everyone, for us as the host, and for you as the listeners. You guys are our priority, so look forward to that as we do year number two.
Love that number.
All right, let's do it.
Do it. But yeah, just wanted to say, just thank you to everyone for all the support. Say that a lot. We'll always say it. Never take this for granted, ever. And it's phenomenal. It really is.
I'm not crying. You're crying. Sergio, save us.
Man, save us.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone. We're gonna jump out of here. If you haven't already, feel free to join our Discord group. We have a great community to chat with and to play games, and we would love to have you there as well. If you're interested, the description for this episode has a link to our Discord. Other than that, we have a Facebook group, and we are also on Twitter and Instagram as Nintendo Jump. You can listen to all of our episodes on YouTube. You can leave us a comment about your favorite NJP moments from this first year, or a topic that you want us to discuss in a future episode. Please send us any feedback you have at NintendoJumpPodcast@gmail.com. If you want to support the show, the best way to do so is through our Patreon. That's patreon.com/NintendoJump. Another way to support would be by leaving a review on your podcast application of choice. Either way, thank you so much for your support. This is Sergio, and on behalf of Daryl and Kevin, thanks for listening. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
Do 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 da 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 Well, that went about as well as I expected it to. That was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, that was great.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.